Hi students, I hope everybody is safe. Today we are continuing the chapter the Mauryan Empire. We have already studied Ashoka. King Ashoka has adopted a peaceful policy, that is Dhamma Vijaya. So we are going to study detail about Dhamma Vijaya today. Clear? Ashoka's new policy. That was Ashoka's new policy. So what he has done to spread this Dhamma Vijaya. First we have to understand what is Dhamma Vijaya. Here Dhamma Vijaya is derived from the Sanskrit word dharma. Dhamma or dharma. It means religious duty. So it is derived from dharma. It means religious duty. And it was based on Buddhism, and he has adopted most of the principles from Buddhism. As you all know that Buddhism's basic concept is ahimsa. No, don't hurt anybody. That is the principle of Buddhism. So he has adopted from that only. So we have in the previous class we have learned that by seeing the bloodshed and wailing of the widows and all after the Kalinga war only, King Ashoka got or he discontinued the wars and the quarrels. So here also, so he adopted the policy, a peaceful policy named Dhamma Vijaya. It is derived from the Sanskrit word dharma. It means religious duty. Now listen, what all things? That means what was the policy or what he insisted his people to do through Dhamma Vijaya. First one was people should live in peace and harmony. That was the first thing. He insisted his people to live in peace and harmony. So according to Dhamma Vijaya, Ashoka's new policy, people should live in respect and live in peace and harmony, and they should show respect to everyone, respect and tolerance. Next point is respect and tolerance. That was the second point. And third point again, respect to elders. And the fourth point was masters should be kind to his servants. Dhamma Vijaya was people should follow ahimsa and don't kill anything or anyone. Should follow ahimsa. So these were the main principles of Dhamma Vijaya, the policy, the peaceful policy adopted by King Ashoka. It was based on Buddhism and it is derived from the Sanskrit word dharma, that means religious duty. And the main policies are live in peace and harmony, respect and tolerance, respect to elders. That means people should follow respect and tolerance. When in their life they should follow respect and tolerance, then they should respect elders. Then the master should be kind to their servants, follow ahimsa. These were the main principles of Dhamma Vijaya. Now we are going to see what are the efforts, what all work, how did he spread out the Dhamma Vijaya throughout the world. That is the next point. That means the efforts to spread Dhamma Vijaya. This was the policies. Now second one, efforts to spread Dhamma Vijaya. First and main important effort which Ashoka adopted to spread Dhamma He issued royal orders or edicts, and his edicts were engraved in pillars, rocks, and set up in public places. So thus the people can read these royal edicts. Clear? Maybe you have heard Ashoka pillars, maybe you have visited Vaishali at that time. Maybe you have seen the Ashoka pillar there. So there also, through the pillars, he has written this royal edicts. He engraved royal orders on the pillars, rocks, and he placed that pillars and rocks in the public places. That was the first effort, and it was written in local script because the people can easily read. It was written in local language, that is the Prakrit language, and it was written in Brahmi script. And Ashoka addressed himself as the father of his people. Yeah, father of his people. That means, it means that he himself was addressed father of people, and that means he himself wanted to be the protector of his people. So this was the first effort that he has done to spread Dhamma Vijaya. And then second one, he himself toured throughout his kingdom and spread Dhamma Vijaya. That means the second one was tours done by Ashoka throughout his kingdom. Then, but important thing, this is very much important, then he appointed Dhamma Mahamantras. Should learn the spelling also, learn the word also. Listen here. D-H-A-R-M-A, Dhamma Mahamantras. So he has appointed Dhamma Mahamantras to spread or interpret and carry out his orders. So who were the Dharma Mahamantras? Dharma Mahamantras were the special officers appointed by King Ashoka to spread his peaceful policy, Dhamma Vijaya. Listen once more. Dharma Mahamantras were the officers, special officers appointed by King Ashoka to spread Dhamma Vijaya, his peaceful policy. I hope you understood this much. Next one was Buddhist councils. And next is Buddhist councils. He convened Buddhist councils to interpret the policies of Buddhism, to interpret the differences, to settle down the differences of Buddhism. That we have already learned in Buddhism. The Buddhism was split into two, Mahayana Buddhism and Hinayana Buddhism. So there were some differences in both this group. So he wanted to settle down that differences also. That's why he has convened a Buddhist council in his capital Pataliputra. So that was also an effort to spread his new policy. So Pataliputra, clear? And fourth one is foreign missions. So he sent missionaries, that means the messengers, to spread Dhamma Vijaya, not only in India, to the foreign countries also, like Greece, Syria, Central Asia and Sri Lanka. And the mission to Sri Lanka was led by Ashoka's son only. His name was Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra. Both of them were leading the mission to Sri Lanka to spread Dhamma Vijaya. Clear? Then, these missions spread the teachings of Buddha beyond the borders of India. So, this was Dhamma Vijaya. Dhamma Vijaya, the Ashoka's new policy, peaceful policy. And how did he spread? What were the efforts he made to spread Dhamma Vijaya was? First one, edicts. These were the royal orders which he engraved on pillars and rocks. And he himself was called the father of his people. That means he wanted to protect his people. Then the next point, next effort, he toured himself throughout his kingdom to spread Dhamma Vijaya. Then he appointed Dharma Mahamantras, who were the Patliputra. Here, foreign mission. Foreign mission was another effort to spread Dharma Vijaya by King Ashoka. His son Mahendra and his daughter Sangamitra was leading the foreign mission to Sri Lanka to spread Dharma Vijaya. Now, this much about his peaceful foreign policy. Next is decline of Mauryan Empire. How did the first empire, so-called first empire in India, or the greatest Mahajanpada, how did it decline? We can say that King Ashoka was the, most probably King Ashoka was the last powerful king, or he is considered to be the legend. Is it? So how did the decline of Mauryan Empire happen after the reign of King Ashoka? Mainly because of the weak rulers. So what will happen when a weak ruler come to rule the country? Naturally, the administration collapse, and everything around that king and also in the country, in the kingdom, that will be collapsed. When administration is collapsed, then everything will be collapsed. Is it? So like that, when the weak rulers came in power, then the administration collapsed. That was the main reason for the decline of Mauryan Empire. This was the main reason, and that was not only one ruler, a series of weak rulers were there. And Brihadrata in 185 BC, he named Brihadrata the last Maurya ruler. He was the last Maurya ruler. I have already told you there was a series of weak rulers. So he is considered to be the last Maurya ruler who was defeated by Pushyamitra Shunga. Then the Shunga dynasty started. Thus the Maurya dynasty came to an end, and this Brihadrata was murdered by who? Pushyamitra Shunga. Clear? That was the decline of Mauryan Empire. So this was all about Mauryan Empire.